Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on Mitv. I am Victor Daniels. In the news, President Bola Crime Commission, EFCC Crime Commission, EFCC for its strong performance in the anti-corruption fight, disclosing that the agency has recovered over 500 billion naira and secured more than 7,000 convictions in the first 2 years of his administration. Declaring open the EFCC National Judicial Institute NJI workshop Abuja, the president, represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, said the recovered funds have been channeled into social investment programs, including the students' loan and consumer credit schemes. Tinubu reaffirmed his government's stance of non-interference in anti-cases, insisting that no political actor is being shielded from prosecution. He therefore urged the judges to remain impartial and incorruptible while commending the judicial collaboration with anti-graft agencies. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, stressed in ensuring the national stability and fairness in justice delivery, while the EFCC Chairman Ola Olukoyede, SAN, Ahmed Monguno, therefore pledged the National Assembly's continued support for strengthening the anti-corruption institutions. The workshop themed enhancing justice in the fight against economic and financial crimes focused on improving judicial capacity and speeding up.
As an administration, we have prioritized public accountability by strengthening the anti-corruption agencies and according them the needed independence. For example, has recorded over 7,000 convictions and assets in excess of 500 billion naira. Recovered proceeds of crime by the agency are being plugged back into the economy to fund critical social investment programs, including the support the judiciary in the past 2 years to deliver an optimal anti-corruption framework that will support our quest for growth and development. A Nigeria free of corruption is possible if we all commit to doing what is right in our respective spheres of influence and ensuring that those will be paid from the
war against corruption demands a trinity of virtue: an independent judiciary, a community, and a vigilant citizenry. Where these three stand united, no portraits of corruption can stand. Where they falter, no constitution can save us. The workshop, therefore, is more than a professional symposium, a place where investigators, prosecutors, and judges forge their.
As I observed at last year's workshop, our decisions as judicial officers have a profound impact on the growth and stability of our nation. It therefore behoves us to ensure the global economy and the rapid technological innovations that enable both legitimate commerce and criminal enterprise. We must remain proactive and adaptive, ensuring that the law continues to keep pace with the innovations that criminals exploit. The judiciary remains the last line of defense against impunity.
While the Nigerian judiciary is blessed with competent and courageous judges and justices, the actions and decisions by a few are sources of worry to agencies such as the EFCC. For instance, the Commission is disturbed by the trend in which some judges of state high courts issue orders to apprehend the powers of the Commission to investigate money laundering cases, even though it is clearly established that those matters are outside their. More worrisome is the fact that most of those decisions are made ex parte.
Forced move to crush a demonstration calling for the release of detained separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu for the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB. Protesters rallied by activists, Moyle, and a court order appearing in public marches. It was started as an oast and passersby by fleeing the scene, with some demonstrators defiantly shouting, "Tear gas cannot stop us." Security presence across the capital was intense as heavily armed operatives were deployed along the major arteries leading to the presidential villa, the National Assembly, and other key government zones, including the full barricades around the Federal Secretariat and the 3M zones. The planned gathering place at Unity Fountain, and in a parallel action, a combined team of soldiers and police officers fired a take near the Federal Ministry of Finance, sweeping aside a different crowd of commuters and traders that was not directly linked to the Kanu protests. The swift security operations cleared the area and left the traders and shoppers shaken. But despite the crackdown, protest organizers pledged to press. Meanwhile, the special advisor to the President, Bola Tinubu, on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, has called on legal regulatory bodies in Nigeria to Jimako for participating in the ongoing Free Nnamdi Kanu protest in Abuja. Onanuga made the call in a post on his X, formerly named as Twitter, handle on Monday, where he criticized Jimako for joining the demonstration organized by the human rights activist and former presidential candidate. Joe Aide said that Jimako participation in the protest undermines the legal ethics, given that Kanu's case is still before a competent court, and adding that as a lawyer, he should be aware of the principle of sub judice, particularly in relation to the ongoing treason case before the court. Onanuga noted that the prosecution had already concluded its case and that it was now the duty of Kanu's legal team to focus on presenting a strong defense rather than engaging in public demonstrations. He urged the relevant legal authorities, including the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, and the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee, LPDC, to examine Jimako's conduct and considers appropriate sanction for what he describes as unethical behavior. The National University granted a operational license to the University of Innovation, Science and Technology, presented the license to Governor Hope Uzodinma in Abuja, noting that the approval brought the total number of universities in the country to 301. Ribadu said the development reflected Imo State's commitment to expanding access to quality education and promoting innovation-driven growth. He assured to ensure the university meets the quality standards. With the approval, the NYSC, JAMB, TED Fund and NEL Fund are to recognize the institution. Governor Uzodinma thanked the NUC for the approval, saying the university would focus on digital skills, innovation, science and technology to equip youth for self-reliance. He added that the institution in California, Berkeley, to promote entrepreneurship and job creation.
Our quest to broaden education and create a wider access to our growing youth population, as also as a measure for engaging molding a very excellent career and character for themselves. We decided to embark on this new platform, a university that will encourage the acquisition of digital skills, innovation, science, and technology to our young population.
The establishment of the University of Innovation, Science and Technology, or MoMA, as the state's fourth university is a bold and strategic step that reflects your strong commitment to empowering the youth, developing the workforce, and promoting knowledge-driven growth. Government officials, university administrators, staff, and students to work together to ensure that the institution flourishes and upholds the highest standards of academic integrity. It should also such excellence and good governance.
Katsina State Governor Diko Morada has launched a new fleet to modernize the public transport, and these buses use both fuel and electricity, cutting carbon emissions and fuel costs while improving travel for residents in Katsina, Daura and Funtau, assuring that expansion plans are underway. And at the unveiling in Abuja's Ido industrial area, the business partner, Ambassador Oshie Bennett, praised the governor's dedication to sustainable development and youth empowerment. Project manager Wei Yunbin revealed that the state will initially get 30 buses with plans for 3 bus terminals and 60 stops. The hybrid system lowers fuel use and emissions, with each bus carrying 45 to 55 passengers, and officials say that this move supports Kastina's goal of safe, affordable and eco-friendly transport for its growing population.
The Katsina State government has unveiled a fleet of hybrid buses, marking a major step in Governor Dikri buses powered by both fuel and electricity will cut carbon emission and reduce travel costs for residents. The buses will operate in all routes in Katsina, Daura and Funtua, with plans to expand across the state. The initiative underscores the government's goal to provide safe, affordable and sustainable transportation for all.
It inaugurated its Presidential Coalition Council (PCC) structure and Street Captains, a grassroots mobilization initiative aimed at encouraging eligible residents to participate actively in the ongoing continuous voter registration (CVR) exercise being conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission ahead of the 2027 general elections. The inauguration, held under the auspice of the Presidential Coalition Council Committee in Lagos, attracted the key party chieftains who urged their supporters to begin the voters' registration process in earnest and to mobilize others, especially those who have newly attained the voting age of 18. Speakers at the event include the members of House of Representatives, dismissed allegations that the APC had commenced election campaigns prematurely, stressing that the initiative was focused solely on voter sensitization and the inauguration of PCC members across the 20 local government areas and 37 local council development areas in Lagos was designed to demonstrate the party's preparedness and organizational strength ahead of the 2027 general election.
Today, a minimum of 700 people have been inaugurated today from each of the local government, minimum, not maximum. And so, the most important thing, like I said, is for people to go out and register. That's what we are doing today. We want people to go out and register. The campaign has not started. When campaign starts, Lagos will be agog. We are not campaigning today. We just want people to go out and register. Hold your PVC, that's your power. We want total victory for Ashwaji Lagos.
To inaugurate, members of the group who are across every ward, every street, and every local government. Those who have not gone out to go and register, for the coming election. So it's more of an advocacy outing, to charge Nigerians and Lagosians in particular not to take lightly the continuous voters registration exercise that is going on. But at the same time, it was used as an opportunity to inaugurate, the Presidential Coalition Committee membership structure across all local governments and across all the world.
That is the reason why the message is being put out there that this is not a campaign. It is not a campaign at all. It is sensitization for the voting process and for the citizens to understand their rights and to let them know that the right to vote and be voted for is a constitutional right that is enshrined in our policies, in our constitution, and in our general way of life. When you have the opportunity to vote for the right people, you can be rest assured that better good governance, you can advocate, request, and demand for accountability in good governance.
Show our appreciation and to bring on ground to give the maximum support and to deliver the required vote to ensure Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerge as the president in the next election for its continuity in office.
Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 2 Adegoke Fayode has called on officers of the Nigerian police force to document their challenges and experiences while on duty for the sake of prosperity and the development of a more functional society. And encounters could be documented in books, encouraging officers to devote time to writing impactful work in frivolities. The author of the book, Chidi Okoye, a 7 police officer, a state public and discourage criminal tendencies by promoting a better understanding of lawful conduct. And also speaking at the event, the senior special assistant to the Abia State Governor on Entertainment and Tourism, Martins Justice, described the book as a tool for sensitively share the importance of the law and fostering a better relations with the law enforcement actions that may lead them into crime or make them The
major elements of those cases, as he is a qualified lawyer. In fact, the way he wrote this book, you think our officers are meant to pick interest in writing books like this. We have a lot to write because we, as police officers, see a lot of experiences, a lot of cases, a lot of issues come to us on paper, so that at the end of your career you're able to reflect and say, so when I was at work, I came through all these issues and facts. So Chidi, well done. Despite the fact that you are this book together, I congratulate you.
The investigator, I launched it way back in 2014. I didn't read diverse write-up. Going to explore other options, not just crime, probably religion as well. So I'll boldly say that you've not seen the last of it.
It's not everyone that might want to have access, or rather that will have access to hard copy. So if we can enlist it like on Amazon, and reorientation of our minds of Nigerians, and try to make sure that they understand the importance of the law and what it is, and to also understand how best to relate with policemen.
I believe that government knows what they are doing, and they will continue, because leadership is not a very simple thing. Sometimes the people, we as a Christian, we always believe that we pray for our leaders, not to fight them. So I believe that things are very difficult, and the government knows that people, and they know what to do, because I know the leadership is not an easy thing, because I'm a leader too.
The Lagos State government has launched a new initiative encouraging residents to turn their trash into cash by exchanging disposable recyclable items for money. The initiative is a part of efforts to promote a cleaner and greener environment across the state. Announcing the development on his official X handle on Monday, the Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, said the government, through the Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA, has begun the sensitization campaigns across communities to educate residents on how to earn money from recyclables. The initiative is part of the government's broader plan to strengthen the waste-to-cash programs, reduce environmental pollution, and improve the waste sorting and recycling practices across all local government areas. In a related post, the LOMA reaffirmed the Commissioner's message, highlighting its ongoing engagement with communities to promote the responsible waste management. It added that its field officers and recycling partners are already on the ground across several communities conducting sensitization drives to educate residents about separation from other household waste and ensuring timely collection. The state government said the initiative will help create a cleaner environment and empower residents through income from recyclable materials and support Lagos' goal of becoming Africa's cleanest and most sustainable megacity. Operatives of Lagos State Park, after a fatal accident, claimed the life of a pedestrian along Osborne Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. The incident occurred along Simpson Street in Ward Ikoyi, near the Osborne Expressway traffic light. Reportedly suffered a mechanical brake failure while moving at a high speed. Eyewitness said the driver, in a desperate bid to avoid crashing into vehicles ahead, lost control of the vehicle and veered off the road, hitting a pedestrian who was walking by the roadside and died instantly. Last month, was said to have moved swiftly to cordon off the area, preventing a further accident and ensuring a free vehicular movement around the busy corridor. The truck driver was immediately apprehended by the LASMA personnel and handed to the security operatives from the Dolphin Estate and Ikoyi Police Divisions for further interrogation and legal actions. The police officers later evacuated the remains of the deceased to a mortuary in Butemeta, pending the formal identification by the family. And the City Boy Movement Lagos State chapter on Monday held a prayer session and empowered 3,000 Lagosians with 50,000 naira each. The program was part of the group's activities to celebrate the 40th birthday of Sheyi. The Director General of the City Boy Movement, Oluwa Tosin Shogo, said the program was also to pray for the celebrant and honor him for his humility and support for the less privileged. The Lagos State Chairman of the movement, Moishori Ogunle, who is also the Chairman of Kushofe local government area, said the occasion was a celebration of the remarkable journey of Sheyi Tinubu's entrepreneurs and charitable mind. The Deputy Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, Mojisola Miranda, described Sheyi Tinubu as a humble infant who had positively changed lives of people who connected with him. Miranda said also seized the occasion to call on supporters of the APC to participate in the ongoing voter registration for a successful outing for the party in 2027. The Lagos State APC youth leader, Dr. Sheriki Muritala, said the youth had a lot to learn from Sheyi Tinubu by being kind and steadfast in all they do.
The purpose of today's gathering is to thank God for giving us a young man, Barrister Sheyi Tinubu, who is an enabler of young people in the country. He has given a lot of young people opportunities to strive and also to participate in the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I am privileged to have worked with him closely, and I saw the kind of humility and understanding and the love he had for people. So we need to celebrate him so that God will be grateful to God for giving us this young man.
His vision transcends material success. It embraces nation building, youth empowerment, and also the spiritual restoration of Nigeria's democratic institution. As we intercede for him on this blessed occasion, we pray for divine wisdom to guide his continued leadership and also the leadership of the City Boy movement. Pray for robust health, sustained prosperity, and the grace to witness the full realization of the renewed hope vision he helped inspire us to champion.
My message for Lagosians is to go out to register because the registration is ongoing. It is important important we do that. That's the only way we can say thank you to Mr. President, and the only way we can also give him to office.
We are here today to celebrate Tinubu for his 40th birthday. So all we want to say is to thank you, and our prayer is that Tinubu continue to live long and Lagos continue to be a better place for all of us. My message to the youth of Lagos is to continue to be steadfast, is to continue to be diligent in their duties, in the activities that they are doing, and then I pray that God bless all of us.
And we now take a short break. We will come back. We'll take some more stories.
It come from support when you need help.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point oh.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. It's na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am.
You dey use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
Welcome back. The Coalition for Good Governance, CGG, has accused the National Assembly, what described as a voyage of legislative rascality, recklessness and lawlessness over its move to consider a central gaming bill in defiance of a subsistent Supreme Court judgment. Speaking at a press conference in Lagos, the group's convener, Nelson Ekujumi, said the National Assembly's attempt to reintroduce legislation on lottery and gaming directly contradicts the 2024 Supreme Court ruling, which nullified the National Lottery Act 2005 and restricted the federal jurisdiction to the Federal Capital Territory. It stated that the National Assembly's move to pass the Central Gaming Bill is constitutional and amounts to an assault on legislative integrity, national security and democracy. He cited the Supreme Court's judgment of November 22, 2024, which held that the National Assembly lacked powers to legislate on lottery and gaming for the entire federation, except for the Federal Capital Territory, pointing out the ruling followed a suit filed by the Lagos State and 21 other states challenging the federal government's power to regulate lotteries nationwide. Ekujumi demanded an immediate halt to what it termed the illegal and unconstitutional voyage of legislative rascality and called on the Senate to decline concurrence with the bill.
Our demands: an immediate stop to this illegal and unconstitutional voyage of legislative rascality and lawlessness by the Senate.
2. An unreserved apology to the people of Nigeria by the House of Representatives for their assault on legislative integrity, honor, the constitution, democracy, and national security by the irresponsible and unconstitutional passage of the vexatious and illegal bill. Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, the voyage of legislative rascality and lawlessness by declining concurrence to a positive resolution.
Now, the civil society themselves have the duty and the government have the duty to monitor what the legislature has been saying. In this regard, the legislature is overstepping its power. So, any responsible civil society organization must point out that infraction.
The Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, NIC, says that the surveyors has a great role to play in assessing the flooding situation in any part of the country in view of the data surveyors provide. The Vice Chairman of the Lagos State branch of NIS, Surveyor Olukayode Ogundari, stated this while speaking in an interview on the roles of surveyors in mapping risk zones in Nigeria at the Mori Radio Vision Plaza in Ikeja, Lagos. He said the surveyors provide data and useful information so needed to examine the flood situations, pointing out that such data provide information on the terrain of low-lying areas. Surveyors Ogundare explained that information provided by the surveyors enabled authorities to caution citizens against erecting structures in waterlogged areas.
Flood risk zone, surveyor also play vital roles. Yes, in Nigeria. One, we play roles in prediction stage. You know, when you give information about terrain configurations and they analyze it, you'll be able to see, there's what we call digital terrain model. You'll be able to see the flow patterns of water. And with that, you'll be able to analyze, oh, this place, people should not build here because this will obstruct the flow. This place is going to be deposition of water, and it can lead to submerge of farmland or submerge of properties. So we will give those information based on terrain analysis. So also survey can as well, when it happens, we call it impact assessment. It is the responsibility of surveyor to map out. We have what we call drone mapping. When there is a flood area, surveyor can fly drones, collect information data that will tell you, oh, these are the people that are affected. These are the extent of the flood. These are the loss that we have suffered. The surveyor will provide those data to give that information for necessary interventions. Also, when after it happens, surveyor has the capability to provide data and information that will mitigate the future occurrence.
Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba Gani Adams has urged the federal government to grant a 5% tax waiver to corporate organizations willing to sponsor initiatives in cultural promotions, sports, education and charity. Speaking Monday during a briefing on the forthcoming 2025 Logan World Festival, the chief promoter of the Logan Festival Foundation, who was represented by National Publicity Secretary Odo People's Congress OPC, Barrister Peter Oguntimile, said that such a policy would ease the government's burden in meeting citizens' social and developmental needs. Iba Adams also appealed to government at all levels to create programs that engage the youths, helping them stay away from social vices and channel their energy into productive ventures. Commending traditional rulers across the Yoruba land for their efforts in sustaining the local cultural festivals, he encouraged others to follow suit by identifying and celebrating festivals tied to their community heritage. He further stressed that religious affiliation should not hinder the cultural celebration, noting that preserving cultural identity regardless of one's faith background.
Binding the Yoruba people. I use this occasion to appeal to other traditional rulers who are yet to join the moving train to also choose one or two festivals known within their heritage and start celebrating them. This should be done irrespective of their background on religion. Religious affiliation should not affect the celebration of our culture. There is a sharp difference between culture, tradition, and religion. Some of the benefits of promoting culture and festivals tourism destinations. There would also be spiritual gains from their ancestors. The festival celebrations would also draw sons and daughters of such places to start visiting home regularly.
Calling all the three religions together, bringing them together to offer prayer, peace in Lagos, and for our economy to keep going forward so that we can all enjoy the goodness of God.
The Ikorodu Metro Lions Club District 404A3 Nigeria has reaffirmed its commitment to executing community projects that will make a direct and lasting impact on the lives of citizens. The district governor, District for humanitarian organizations to collaborate with government in bringing relief and joy to the less privileged within their communities. Lion Onu charged the members to integrity and dedication that have defined the Lions Club legacy over the years. In his inaugural address, Lionel Olatunji Azeez pledged to focus his administration on expanding the club's service project and strengthening partnership with local government bodies and community groups to increase technology, but from the adaptation of innovation to real-life challenges. He urged Lions to become people with smart hearts by initiating entries and distribution of more than 100 eyeglasses as clear evidence that voluntary efforts remain a vital complement to government initiatives in improving lives.
We all know that times are hard, the economy is difficult, and government is trying, but government can't do everything. That is where humanitarian clubs come into play, particularly our club, the Lions Club. We step into the shoes to buffer that gap between what the government is able to do and what the people need. And we're able to support thousands and millions of people locally and globally.
Our members key into our administration's budget and efforts to transform the society via service to humanity. We are going to make it top-notch, the 8 global courses of Lions Club International, ranging from vision, environment, youth empowerment, global courses programs of Lions Club International. All these things are going to be taken seriously and taken as the best way on how to grow the club.
The trouble with our world is not only a look, we see hunger, unemployment, insecurity, moral decay, and despair. The global economy trembles. Nations are divided. Even nature groans as forests burn, rivers dry, and climate change. Our world is not just needing change, it is crying for a change.
Tropical diseases (NTDs) in the country. UNICEF Nigerian country representative Wafa Sahid stated this during a town hall meeting to assess the impact of its provided support to interrupt the NTD Paji town, Odo-Tin local government area of Osun State. They commended them for upholding the hygienic standard and environmental sanitation. And after getting a feedback from the residents in the community and a visit to their houses, the UNICEF officials emphasized that the dwellers have proven that transmissions of neglected tropical diseases can be halted. They commended commitment of the officials of Osun State government and the community stakeholders for efficient distribution of UNICEF free drugs and sustainability of hand wash provided to them by UNICEF in collaboration with the state government, donors and non-governmental organizations.
And that's really what our focus is at UNICEF, is to make the world a better place for children, and we can see that happening here in these communities. From the important endorsements of all of this work, from the leadership of your communities, to the hard work of the health center people, to the volunteer community drug distributors, everybody we've met has been so committed to this work and building healthier and stronger communities. So it's really inspiring for me.
By looking at neglected tropical diseases. These neglected tropical diseases have a heavy burden on the well-being of women, on children, on communities, on their access to schooling, on their access to health, and also you have diseases like LF that can also cause permanent disability, that can cause social stigma. So these are very, very important for the well-being of the people, but also for the economy of those societies. So that's very important to invest in them. The fact that they're called neglected tropical diseases.
I'm really, really impressed today because what we have been clamoring for has come to reality.
Because this was not foreseen, we didn't know UNICEF was going to come. We were just doing our work as efficiently as we could, and today it's obvious that we have been diligent in our duties.
The Ekiti State Command of the National Drug Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) has reiterated its commitment to the ongoing fight against the cultivation and trafficking of illicit drugs in the state. The state commandant of the agency closed this while briefing the journalists on the operational success recorded by the command. And according to him, the NDLEA operatives recently destroyed over 50 tons of cannabis sativa at a large farm located in Ilawe, Ekiti. There, 3 suspects were also apprehended. But I now explained that operations was part of the agency's intensified efforts to curb the spread of drug-related activities in the state. He appealed to members of public to provide the agencies with credible information that could assist in carrying out its duties effectively. The suspects during interrogations confessed that they had been hired from a neighboring state to work on the cannabis farm.
That led to the recovery of 53,250 kilograms of illicit substances planted on 3 hectares of farmland. We were able to destroy this. Then we were able to recover 1,140 kilograms of the which you can see at my back. So that's the total of SBCs yesterday. We need more cooperation from them in terms of giving us
in the bush where they plant Igbo. Likely it's almost six days ago that they took us to there to go and do labor.
And that's it on the local news. We'll now take a short break. When we'll come back, we'll take some stories from the foreign scene. Welcome back in the foreign scene. The World Health Organization (WHO) says the last Ebola patient in the Democratic Republic of the Congo (DRC) has been released from a treatment center in Kasai province. And in a statement, the WHO said the patient is the 19th to recover out of the 64 total cases recorded since the outbreak was declared in September. And if no new cases are discovered in the next 42 days, the outbreak will be declared over. The WHO's Director for Africa, Mohammed Kovri, was a remarkable achievement, given the outbreak began just 6 weeks ago. In a video alongside post on X, health workers were seen celebrating as the final patient exited the treatment center in Bulape. And Israel has seized the more than 70,000 square meters of land in Nablus governorate in the northern occupied West Bank, and according to by the Ramallah-based Colonization and War Resistance Commission. The report said that Israeli army seized the land under a military and security seizure order issued for several Nablus villages. The move is aimed at establishing a buffer zone across the early settlement in the area, the commission said, and adding the Israel authorities published the order and after the expiration of the objection period, which lasts only a week. A total of 53 military seizures orders have been issued by Israel expand control over the occupied West Bank since the start of the year. And meanwhile, reports say that dozens of aid trucks have entered Gaza through the Karim Salim and Al Carrera crossings and carrying food and relief supplies. We'll now take a short break. When we'll come back, we'll take some stories in sport. Walking back in sport, with Barcelona are dealing with a mounting injury crisis, with key defender Andres Christensen joining forwards Rafinha and Ferran Torres on the sidelines ahead of Tuesday's crucial Champions League tie against Olympiacos. The growing absentee list, which already includes Robert Lewandowski and Dani Olmo, heaps pressure on coach Hansi Flick as the Blaugrana prepare for. Reports say that Christensen missed training and returned home due to general discomfort, building concerns around his fitness and uncertainties surrounding his availability in time against the Greece side.